welcome back, and we're gonna talk to Laszlo Starblade.
Yet again, you win over one of my colleagues. If Dragonspire Academy had a dozen students like you, this place would not lay in ruins. These statues represent Dragonspire's greatest foes. Like a whetstone to a blade, they sharpen the skills of the warriors of Dragonspire. We honor them with combat. You must first defeat the Grand Champion of Rydal the Indomitable. He conquered the Duchy of Sebastian and forced the Duke into rebellion. Rydal's champion made it possible. You're no match for him yet, though. You need to learn his way of combat, and for that, you need to go speak to Mavra Flamewing.
This might be the last video of this session right now. I am so tired. And I've got a paper to write. Or I've got at least a rough draft to write. Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness there's no paper due in a midterm section. Thank goodness, right?
So, you've come to learn the greatest of arts, the art of war. You don't look very impressive, but I'm hoping that you've got some hidden reserve of strength. I'm the master of defense here in Dragonspire. I teach the means of protection. A shield is just as much a weapon as the sword. You need to think of defensive magic as another form of attack, aimed at your foe's attack. You can't rely at all on one kind of defense. A cunning enemy will switch attacks to overcome your protection. You must be quick to change tactics based on what is happening in the battle. Think of it as a game of battle ball. Your shield must always be moving to reflect back the attack. I could spend years teaching you about defense, but time is short. If you haven't grasped the basics, you're hopeless. Meet me in my tower, and we'll see what you've picked up. Don't get cocky, young wizard. You've learned the art of the attack, but what happens when you cannot land an attack on your opponent? Defense is the key to survival. Defend yourself.
Now, this boss is pretty difficult because the protection pox are only there to defend. And Mavra Flamewing is also protecting herself and dealing damage to you from time to time whilst doing so. So I want to protect myself on the first go round. So as you can see, the pox, all they do is shield each other. So you might want to just knock out Mavra first. And when she does this, like, she does try to go after you, but since the shields aren't really much of a problem, like, they really shouldn't be, because Judgment will get right through it. It's like, she doesn't account for the fact that Judgment's a thing. If only Mavra Flamewing were ice, because that is the defense school. So you chose the wrong school, is what happened. So you can try to do whatever you want with the pox. But I already know more about how to use global spells than the very first time I did this, and shield spells and everything. So whenever she attacks, it's like, we already know how to defend ourselves. And you'll just see a bunch of shields floating around everybody by the end of this. Now this is to set you up for the attack specialist. So this is the defensive specialist, and then we come up on the attack specialist. And as you can see, the pox are annoying because this is all they do. It's just like, stop. Just stop. At least they don't weakness you. At least we can say that for sure. Though these pox also appear in the Lore Master fight. And they can be pretty... Or, they're not pox, they're called font. But they look like pox. But I don't know what pox even is, so... It's whatever. The bloom is very, very blinding. It's blood red upon red, and it's really hard to see. So this should kill. Stop shielding each other. Stop it. You'll notice that the shields just start blinking in and out of each other because there's too many. And these protection pox, they won't hit you. They won't do any damage to you whatsoever. I found the fight against the attack guy easier than the fight against the defensive lady at the beginning. And it should feel the same way for this. Just stop. Stop shielding each other. At least use an absorb or something so it makes it tougher. Actually, don't do that. Oh my god, it happened again. Another one. How many shields is that? How many turns have gone by? I wish we knew the round count. Because they do this basically every turn. And because they're shielding each other and I'll kill one of them, there will be no room for the other one to get shielding, so... There we go. We fought this one into submission. okay, there we go. They finally used a tower shield. What a move. What a play. As you can see, it did part of the damage. If only the pox at least hit with something, it would be more challenging. Instead, it's just more monotonous. Oh, there we go. Will this kill because of that? Will it kill? Barely.
I'm impressed. You've got an instinct for saving your own hide. That's a good thing. Surviving a battle is the most important part.
Whoa. The whole point of this area is to defend yourself and learn how to do that stuff before you get to the upcoming worlds. And the upcoming worlds, like Celestia, you'll need to know how to shield more often to prevent the opponent from using large attacks. Because there will be a large difficulty hike coming up.
The Master of Defense is a harsh taskmaster, but if you're here now, it means you learned something. Good. You're not finished yet, though. Even the strongest warrior cannot squeeze blood from a stone, but a student who is wise can get knowledge from a statue. This statue is one of our greatest enemies, Garrock Shaleheart. He and his army of Earth Elementals fought our armies to a standstill on the plain of Shattered Shields, and for that we honor him among our own. You must summon and defeat Garrock's greatest champion in combat to show that you're capable of upholding the proud military tradition of Dragonspire. Go to the crystal stand and place this crystal upon it. Concentrate for a moment. The spirit stored within it will then manifest in physical form.
Now we must defeat the Earth Elemental. We'll get rid of all semblance of items that have nothing to do with shielding for that type, or for types other than it. I remember one time I was fighting the Kraken on the other side of this, and I was using Dryad, but it glitched. So I had maximum power pips, and it could only target the opponent. So I ended up healing the opponent all the way because the Dryad does 125 damage per pip, and that's how it deals damage. Damn. Didn't expect to get this many power pips. And that did little to no damage, so when he does a life attack this time, or next time, it'll do little to no damage as well. See, look, I already know about the stuff from the last battle. Man, if only I used this balance of power thing, I could have done even more damage. Yeah. So I could have done more damage, but it's whatever. have 2 joiners here. And there we go.
Excellent. He was among Garrock's greatest warriors. I fought him to a standstill on the battlefield, and now you put him in his place. Though we of Dragon Spider are proud, we are not foolish. Though we prefer open and direct fights, we are not ignorant that our enemies will use magical traps to defeat us. So now, a part of the course of studies here is to learn the ways of traps. You must learn these lessons well in order to face Dronic, the Shrouded Wizard.
So you've come to learn the methods of strategic warfare, fighting with the brain and not just your wand. I'm the master of strategy here in Dragonspire, and it's my duty to see that our students are fully versed with the means of using traps effectively in combat. Each spell you cast could be your last, so you should make them as effective as you can. A trap makes your foe take more damage, so why wouldn't you cast one? The ultimate goal of combat is to remove your foe from the field of battle. And the trap is a shortcut to that end. You've used traps before, I'm certain, but this is where you learn to use them well. Brace yourself. This might sting a little.
I believe this guy's fire.
You're a powerful young wizard. I'll grant you that.
No, he's
but
ice.
let us see how you fare against one who spent his lifetime mastering the use of traps.
Traps are gay. No, these guys are completely offensive minded. Like, they'll go straight for the heart. So you gotta defend and attack. So now, to negate a lot of these traps, I'm gonna put this on me. But since he's ice, I can't deflect ice as well as other things, so I just have to leave it at that. Now these damage pox will only use traps. They'll also feed the other guy pips, so you have to be careful for that too. But since I have a lot of health, I'll just quickly get through him before he gets to me. So when he uses this, it's absolutely fine that he hits with this amount of damage. I'm absolutely okay with that. Because he's ice, but he's doing basically a life type amount of damage. So I'm not as worried when it comes to this. So now I'm going to cast one more spell and then I'm going to wait a turn. Either that or I'll already have enough to cast. We already have set the stakes. We'll take him out this turn. There we go, he attacks with a move that's way too early. So attack him and kill him first before he attacks and kills you. So that's the goal of this battle. Now they can't attack you at all. So they're just gonna keep on putting traps and hexes and all this other stuff on you. So it's interesting, the defensive lady was Storm and not Ice, so they weren't tower shielding at all. And then we have an Ice person that deals damage. Come on, man. Come on. You're kidding. And this is literally all that they do. Blade, 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 trap, blade, blade, trap, blade. What's this? What's that? Was a slave put into this thing? I don't know what this is.
You surprise me. I figured you'd fold like a piece of origami. Instead, you handled yourself like a warrior born. Take these lessons to heart.
You've made it back, so apparently you've learned something. Now that you've been through strategy boot camp, it's time for your next challenge. You've yet to face our first great foe, the greatest champion of Dronic, the Shrouded Wizard's army. This very champion fought his way all the way to the throne of Dragonspire to claim it for his Lord Dronic. Show me that you will fight for Dragonspire and all it stands for. Use the skills you've been taught and defeat him. Use a crystal to summon Dronic's champion and show him what you're made of.
Time to go to Woo. The Sea Lord. And, this, I believe, is the last battle of these. Oh wow. Oh wow, man. We've been Godzilla'd. Stormzilla, excuse me. Okay, hopefully this hits for a lot of damage. I forgot to put a Blade Storm on. Aw, that sucks. It still did a lot. Man, these videos are really, really long lately. Expect that.
You defeated him. I'm at a loss, actually. It took a league of Dragonspire's wizards and warriors to defeat him when he breached the throne room of Dragonspire. I did not think it possible that you could have done so much on your own, but now that I've seen your power, I think you are the one we've been waiting for. I hid the last portal stone in the lowermost vault of the Great Chasm during the Titan Army's assault. The librarian should help you find your way. Once you've recovered it from there, bring it back and I'll activate it for you.
Well done. We'll do that, but in the next video, which will be in a different session, we will be back and we will be in... We'll defeat these two crystal stands that we skipped over, and we'll probably do the Lore Master. And then we'll start on the Grand Chasm. So yeah, see you guys in the next video.